Hello, Michael.
Hello?
Yeah.
Who we got on board?
We have,
Mike.
yeah, go ahead, Michael.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
This is Mark down here in Oklahoma,
and Lisa.
Hey Mark, how are you? Good to talk to you again.
doing well. It was 2.5 weeks ago in Spyro, so it's good to chat.
Yeah, I remember you.
Dr. Coburn, and this is Lisa Dugan with Resolve Uganda here in Oklahoma City.
Okay, and who else?
And this is Michael Poffenberger. I'm here in DC. I've been working with your staff.
Oh, great.
And we're on the live feed, and we've got about 50 people in here just listening. So
okay.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, let me tell you, the way you guys did things was great. I've had a lot of people come after me on my holds in the past, and you all were true to your mission, interested in your purpose, respectful of my staff, and I just want to tell you I'm appreciative of it, and the way you carried out in a very honorable way, trying to get your agenda focused. And so I thank you for that. Yesterday I met with my state director, and he talked about his meeting outside the Oklahoma City office and how kind everybody was. So it's really the way to do it.
We definitely learned that, and it's been a really awesome learning experience for all of us as well.
The other thing that I wanted to, we have an agreement now, and everything's going to get sent through the Senate here fairly fast. I think it's important to note the tenacity of what you all have done with the lack of people really wanting to talk about how we pay for things and how we do things. And also tying back, one of the comments my staff has given me, and it's not just one, but several that have been involved in this issue, is a disconnect between the debt and foreign aid. The fact is, if you look at our projections of where we're going as a nation, we're going to have a tough time keeping from shrinking foreign aid, just because of the recession and the out of control spending by Congress. So it is a big problem, and the fact that you all have kind of got this solved, and we did it in a way that meets our goals and your goals, is also a credit to you.
Well, thank you. That's what we wanted to do.
Yes, thank you so much, Dr. Coburn, and we want to express how grateful we are that you did exactly what we were asking, which was to come to the table and to engage in finding a way to make this work that satisfied both of our goals, and that means the world to us. And not only is it so exciting for us in terms of what this means for the people of Central Africa, but I think for the youth of the United States to see what can happen when you engage politically in a way that's positive and constructive, and that you heard it and you responded, and I want to thank you, Senator, because I think that you've empowered and encouraged a lot of young people who are going to lead this country in years to come, and who hear your message as well. So thank you so much.
We're not going to be able to do anything unless we do it together, and we're not going to be able to do it unless we can pay the bills that gets it done. Just so you all will know, I had brought some stats up. Uganda aid between 2007 and up through what is requested by the President this year is $2.02 billion. And the State Department recently offered Uganda $246 million in new money to help with social and economic recovery programs in the northern area of Uganda. The other thing I wanted to make sure you all knew, that Senator Durbin and I were the first to raise these issues in the Human Rights Subcommittee of the Judiciary. And we held the first two hearings on this, and we've got one public law, which is the Child Soldiers Accountability Act. And we also passed the Child Soldiers Prevention Act of 2007. So we've done our part. Now is to carry it out, and that's what you all have been effective in doing.
And Senator, we want to thank you so much for your continued support of that. And here in a little while, we want to just tell you a little bit about a few of the steps going forward. But from an Oklahoman point of view, from, like I told you down in Spyro, from the guy from OU and a student here, I know you know how much you love Oklahoma. You're proud of the state, but I just want to let you know that this state made so many fans in the last week and a half. The way that our state treated all of us, I mean, our campaign was, we weren't crazy protesters. We were greeting people, and and just telling them to have a good day and explaining what our passion was. And never once were we out to smear Dr. Coburn. We were just saying we're asking for him to talk with us. The response we got in downtown Oklahoma City has moved almost all of us to tears. I mean, the deli workers, the security guards, the taxi cab drivers, the police, the parking meter operators, the custodians, every person has just been, they've just been supportive because we've had such a positive attitude. And like Lisa said, everyone learned something here about what civic engagement can and should look like, and that it's not about...
Yeah, and you all done it the right way. You know, I've been through this a number of times. We did the Caregivers Act, which was for the veterans, and we finally got that through, but it didn't take place. And you know why it didn't take place? Is because they wouldn't fund it. So it's one thing to say you're going to pass a bill. It's another thing to make sure something happens. And the way we've written this, it's going to get funded.
That's phenomenal. You've got about 50 smiling faces in the room right now.
But it's also going to get funded out of existing money.
Which is even better.
That's right, because that means you all aren't going to have your children pay for it.
And Senator, we thank you, because I think we recognize, as much as we care about seeing peace in this part of the world and seeing the recovery of families and communities that have been devastated by the LRA, it is such a right message for us to hear that sacrifices need to be made for money to be able to go to things that are worthy of it, like this issue. And so I do...
You know, you all don't have on your desk what I have on my desk. I have a list of $350 billion of waste every year in the budget. And that's $350 billion that shouldn't be being spent, but is. And then we have issues like the Emmett Till bill, the Veterans Caregiver Act, the Lord's LRA bill, that aren't getting funded in the way they should because we refuse to make hard choices in Washington and get rid of the waste.
Well, that is a thing that I know we appreciate hearing, and a challenge that is good for us to hear, and we appreciate that you've brought that to our attention and at the same time heard us and worked with us to find a compromise. And we're very
You know, the one thing I will always tell you, we will always talk to anybody. That's been, and what we do is we confront issues head on. We don't duck them and play a game and look like we're trying to do something. We're always straight up with you, and we always will be. And when we have a concern, I think one of the things you all didn't realize about the legislative process is lots of things go through here, but they go through here after coming through my office and negotiating, so we accomplish some of those principles for our grandkids, at the same time accomplishing the things that we want to get done today. And so you don't get to see the inside nasty working of the headbanging that goes on inside to get agreements to get something done. And your pressure actually helped me get it done. It put more pressure actually on the other side. So that's helpful.
Well, thank you for saying that. We appreciate it, and I think there are a lot of young people who now are excited about how they can engage constructively in the legislative process and use their voice and take advantage of the beautiful democracy we have, which many times we
Good. Go to work on Darfur.
Absolutely.
Yeah. We were looking for a reason to stay in Oklahoma longer, so going after legislation for Darfur.
We would have a team. We're still staying here again tonight. We would have a team coming down to talk to the students here about getting involved with North Korea. So there's already people here wanting to get involved in other things. And I just also wanted to thank you and say, as this goes forward.